Yeah, because after that it says, from that time on, she became determined to prove her father and the whole world that women and all people deserve equal treatment.
Very good. So how will we put that in our own words, this section right here? Because that's important, because I think that definitely goes along with answering that question, because there's your why. There's your why right there. Why did she want equal rights? Well, she started right here. From that time on, she became determined to prove her father and the whole world that women and all people deserve equal treatment. So how could we say that in a sentence? How can you say and summarize that just in a quick sentence? What did she want? How about Giovanni? What did she want here? Why did she fight for equal rights?
Elizabeth? Why Elizabeth?
Yeah, what does it say in the text? Melissa just pointed it out. We're having a discussion. So why did she fight for those equal rights in paragraph 1?
Because she wanted to prove her father that the whole world that women and all people deserve equal treatment.
Right. So I would kind of summarize that, like in your notes. So you could say she wanted to prove
Are we supposed to see your screen?
Yes, you are. Did I not? Okay, let me share.
No, you're not sharing.
I'm going to share.
I'm not sharing.
Give me a second. Okay, so write that down in your notebook. You guys also have it in your book. Everybody should be writing right now in your notebook. This is how you're going to get the meat of your writing. So everybody needs their notebook out, and everybody needs to be writing in their notebook. Okay, so she wanted to prove that women and all, I would underline that, all people I would maybe, instead of say wanted, I know I'm taking notes, and I'm just thinking of those verbs. I really like that word determined. So basically, we're kind of, she was determined. Okay, so we can kind of actually quote this. She was determined, because we're taking basically most of the words from the text. So we're going to quote this. She was determined to prove that women and all people deserve equal treatment. Okay, and that's how we do a direct quote. You don't need this little line here, actually.
Your screen is freezing.
Okay, let me focus.
It's not frozen, it's just blurry.
Okay, sometimes it takes a minute to focus. So has it adjusted yet? Worst case scenario, I could take a picture. I could take a picture of it and put it on our...
It froze. It's good.
What page was
it, but it froze.
What page was it again? I lost it.
We're on page 209.
Okay.
You're just directly quoting. Sarah, did you already write it down? Thank you. Okay, we all need our cameras on, so I need to see Joyce and Vanch as well, please. With your cameras on. So we could actually use part of these details right here into our topic sentence, because this basically answers that question. So we could say, literally, you can take some of the words for your answer. You could say, okay, they're asking you, why did she fight for equal rights? You could say Elizabeth Cady Stanton fought for equal rights because she was determined to prove that women and all people deserve equal treatment. Doesn't that sound pretty good for a topic sentence? Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, this basically can answer the question, but I would include her name. She fought for equal rights. We're going to take out that why and the did, because that's part of a question. And if you just literally said Elizabeth Cady Stanton fought, we would have to change that verb to past tense, right? Because she's not alive anymore. So fight would become fought for equal rights because she was determined to prove that women and all people deserve equal treatment.
Miss
So
McKinney.
that could literally be your answer.
Miss McKinney, I wrote it a little bit different, but I still said that she wanted to prove that everybody should have equal rights.
Okay, that's fine.
Miss McKinney,
Yes.
your screen keeps freezing and getting blurry.
Okay, so what I'm going to do as we go, I'm going to have to work with it like I did last time. I'm going to take pictures as we go and post them in our channel. That way you guys can see it better. Let's see.
Miss McKinney, your screen froze.
Good job, Melissa.
All right, thank you. So what I did is I put it on our Language Arts channel too. So if you need to see those notes better, go to Language Arts channel 2 and it's posted right here, okay? Hopefully that should help. Does anybody need more time for the notes? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so as you guys read, we're still working on why did she fight for equal rights? Okay, so what were all her reasons? So let's go back to the book. You guys should have your book in front of you, or you can upload it online. You can go into ConnectEd. Melissa, did you guys read just the first paragraph, or did you guys read the first page?
I read all of it.
I have it all of it too. We just told them to reread it again if
Yeah,
they're
until they like get it.
Got it. Okay. So, how about paragraph 2 here, guys? What else? What was another reason why? If we look at paragraph 2, this paragraph right here where it starts with Elizabeth's father was a lawyer, judge, and congressman. What was another reason why she fought for equal rights? What does it say in this paragraph? Okay, I need you guys all to go back and read paragraph 2. Why did she fight for equal rights? And I'm just going to randomly call on students to see what your thoughts are. What does it say in the text? So remember, the question said, cite text evidence to support your answer. So this is where we're going in and looking at that text evidence. Just this paragraph right here.
If we have one, can we write it down on our notebooks?
You sure can. I see, Giselle, you have your hand up. Would you like to share?
It's just that your screen keeps on frozen and it's kind of hard to focus. But are you gonna keep on taking the pictures of the writing?
I am. So, but can you tell me, if you look in the book, did you find anything in the second paragraph? Why did she fight for equal rights?
That her father kept on that there were these women that kept on complaining to her father that like the equal rights that they weren't equal, that they wanted equal rights, and it hurted Isabel's and Isabel didn't like that.
Okay, but why couldn't he help them?
Because he was a lawman, and men did not have women did not have equal right like men.
Okay, any other ideas from that paragraph? Thank you, Giselle. How about Giovanni? Did you see anything else in paragraph 2? Why did she want women to have equal rights? Why did she fight for equal rights? There's something specific in paragraph 2 that you guys need to get. We know she wants everybody to have equal treatment, but there's a big piece in paragraph 2 is the main reason why. What is the main reason why she fought for equal rights?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you need to read it again, Giovanni. Read it again, because there's a main reason why. Why does she want equal rights, equal treatment? What are the equal rights that she wants? Think about that. Now let's get into the what.
Wait, Miss McKinney, I think I know.
Did you find it?
Yep.
Okay, so what did she want?
She wants
We give people think time, Diego. We don't wave our hand crazily in the air, okay? What does she want? Women, and what equal rights or treatment does she want?
so that married women can own property and vote.
Exactly. So at that time, right, it says right here in the text, her father could not help them because women did not have the same rights as men did under the law, right? Married women could not own property or vote. Elizabeth said, the tears and complaints of the women who came to my father for legal advice touched my heart and drew my attention to injustice and cruelty of the laws.
Miss McKinney, I just wrote Elizabeth said tears and complaints of the women who drew my attention. Or sorry, I messed up. But I just wrote that. I didn't write in the beginning.
Okay, well, you have to have the what, though. That's good. I mean, if you want to directly quote this right here, you can directly quote that. It's already done. But you need to put what, like what was the equal treatment? What was the equal treatment that everybody deserved? So she felt. Okay, you might even want to go and add a little history here. Let's do that. What could women what could women not do at that time? Sarah, how about Sarah? What could women not do at that time?
They couldn't vote.
Okay, so she was in 1827, right? Actually, you know what? Let's just put the 1800s. So we'll say in the 1800s, because remember, women, what year did women get the right to vote? Does anybody remember that? What year was it? Diego?
1920.
1920, that's when the 19th Amendment passed. So in the 1800s, women could not, they couldn't vote, and what else couldn't they do? How about Emmanuel, what else couldn't women do? According to paragraph 2. Emmanuel, did you read paragraph 2 in your book? What else could women not do? We should know these. We've already read the story. Women could not vote. What else could they not do? Joyce, I need your camera on, please.
Can I answer? My hand been raised for a long time.
I know, but I asked Emmanuel, so and Vaughn, you need your camera on too. Everybody needs their cameras on, or I'm going to keep you at break and you can stay in here with me.
Miss McKinney, can you take a picture of what you wrote? Because you're freezing.
I can. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying my best here. So I will, but I'm still waiting to hear from Emmanuel. What else could women not do besides vote? Oh, you're muted, honey. I don't think you can unmute. Maybe you can't unmute. Oh, okay. All right. How about Joshua then? What could women not do besides vote?
They couldn't own property.
Okay, so in the 1800s, women could not vote or own property.
Yeah. Miss McKinney, it sings super slow.
I know, I'm trying, guys. I'm sorry. This is the best connection I have. So I'm going to probably have to look at getting, talking to the internet company or something.
At least it's connection.
Okay, so I'm going to post what I have so far, and you guys should have that too. You have your books in front of you. All you have to do is write that down in the notes, and that will help you with your writing.
Did you know today's election day?
Today is election day. Yes. Hopefully all your parents are out there voting, or they already voted. Okay, so I posted it right here in our channel too. In the 1800s, women could not vote or own property. How did this make her feel? How did she feel about that? What's her motivation? What does she want? What did she say? I know Melissa kind of quoted it.
I already finished writing. Mine's a little bit different though.
That's okay, but you do need to make sure, Melissa, that you include that during her time, women did not have the right to vote and they didn't have the right to own property. So that's a very important fact. You need to make sure.
Yeah, I put that in.
Okay, awesome. So how did she feel about not being able to these women including herself, not being able to vote and not being able to own property. It says right here in the text, page 209 at the end of paragraph 2, it says, the tears and complaints of the women who came to my father for legal advice touched my heart and early drew my attention to the injustice and cruelty of the laws. So how does she feel about women not being able to vote, women not being able to own property? How about Jonathan? What do you think?
Where is Jonathan?
I don't.
Jonathan.
I saw him earlier.
Jonathan's here. I see him. Jonathan, can you hear me?
I don't even think he has his camera on too.
It's on.
No, it's on. Jonathan, can you hear me?
Miss McKinney, and earlier when I tried joining
Wait,
them,
what was that again? What's looking?
Jonathan, you need to listen carefully, okay? So how does Elizabeth feel about women not being able to vote or own property?
Wait, I can't hear you. Hold up.
I said, how did Elizabeth feel about
You're
women
glitching.
not-
I can't.
Okay, so how did women feel about not being able to vote or own property?
They in the 1800s, women said that like they said like it's not like fair to vote because only men can vote.
Okay, but look at paragraph 2, Jonathan. You have some ideas. She said it's not fair. Obviously, she thinks it's
Yeah.
not fair. But what does this say here in the text? The end of paragraph 2. The tears and complaints of the women who came to my father for legal advice touched my heart and early drew my attention to the injustice and cruelty of the laws. How does she feel about these laws?
Miss McKinney,
Yes,
Joyce asked if you can call her in.
I did call her in. I've been calling her in. Okay.
she
So
feels
how
bad.
does she feel right here, guys?
She feels
It touched her heart. What does that mean? Drew her attention. What does she think about these laws?
It doesn't feel right to her.
Right, it doesn't feel right. Okay, she thinks that there's injustice, right? And it's cruelty to women. Okay, any other ideas from this text? Giselle.
That she feels sad, and that women should have the right to vote because that they don't have the right to vote, and men do have the right to vote, and they can't own property either, and they can't do things that men can do.
Wait,
Okay.
she
What
said that.
does cruel mean? Like she says it's cruel.
It means like if it's rude.
Yeah.
Cruel means it's like really mean, right?
Yeah,
It's
like
very
rude
mean
and
and disrespectful to women. Okay, so she felt this was cruel and injustice and injustice to women. And okay, so if she felt this, who else was she fighting for again? Not just women, but who else? What was the other group of people that she was fighting for? Andres? Thank you for your participation. I love how Andres always raises his hand. Always participating.
Black men and women.
Okay, so we're going to say African Americans. Well, all women. She's like, all people need to be treated equally, right? Okay, so that is right from paragraph 2. So that's where you're citing that text evidence. You're kind of giving that, hey, this is why she wanted this. This is what she wanted. She thought it was cruel punishment to women and men to not have those same equal rights. She thought it wasn't fair. Any of those statements will work.
Didn't you say that married women could not like own property to like vote or something?
No, that yeah, married women could not own land.
Oh.
Okay, so I added this here. Joyce, can you turn on your camera?
Didn't my dad tell you that it said on Teams that my camera was disabled till tomorrow?
Oh, okay, that's weird. I know why mine was doing the same thing.
Miss
So
McKinney,
I'm having a lot of Teams issues, but I did post the notes here. These notes
Yeah, I saw them.
Okay, awesome. These notes are going to help you guys with your writing, your citation, and your explanation. Okay, so basically so far from the notes, you guys should already literally have basically your answer. If you put that together, you have one of your first citations and you're explaining here. This is basically the explaining part. So she wanted all people to have equal rights and be treated equally. And why did she want that? Because in the 1800s, women couldn't vote or own property. She felt this was cruel and an injustice to women and African American men.
Miss Kenny,
Yes.
I need my charger because my laptop is running low.
Okay, well, go grab it and plug it in.
Okay.
So sit somewhere where you can plug it in.
Miss McKinney.
Okay, so if you guys turn to page 210 and 211, let's look at why, what were some things she did to fight for those equal rights? Like some more, well, we have the reasons why she did, but what did she do? How did she, so now you're getting to your, when you write, you need to include your why, like why is she doing this? Why is she fighting for equal rights? We have that, but what did she do about it? How did she fight for equal rights? What did she do? Okay, so you guys are going to turn to page 210 and 211 in your books, and we're going to find the what. So a little bit more notes, and then this will help you guys. The next time we're working, you're actually going to take your notes and you're going to use notes to help you with your race to respond. Okay. So I'm going to have you guys all show me your notes before break. Okay. We're going to go to break. Actually, today I'm going to go at 10 o'clock. And then we'll give you that 10 to 10:30. We'll take a break and then start math. Okay. So we're going to finish those notes. We got about 15 more minutes. And I want you guys to go ahead and turn to these 2 pages in your book. If you can't see my screen or it's glitching, please turn to page 210 and 211. And we're looking at, now we're looking at what did she do about it? We're not going to break yet, Jonathan. All right, does anybody know for now, like, what was one thing that she did about getting that equal right? I don't see any hands up. Come on, guys. What did she do about it? We read the story last week. What did she do? Giovanni, what did she do to fight for these equal rights?
She It's because I'm still writing the notes down.
Okay, you raised your hand, so I just thought, okay, maybe you were ready.
Yeah, I remembered it, but it just went out of my brain.
In the first paragraph,
What paragraph?
in that first one, the working for change on 210.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
No, I mean, on these pages, do you remember from what we read last week, why or what she did? So we have the why. We know Elizabeth thought it was unfair and there was injustice to women and African Americans because they couldn't vote and women could not own land. Okay, so what did she do about it? How did she fight for those equal rights? Do you remember what she did? Diego, you want to try?
Well, in the other paragraphs, I saw 3 years later, Elizabeth met Susan B. Anthony. Together, they made an unstoppable team. And Elizabeth was a passionate speaker and writer.
Okay, I do see it in that paragraph. That's a good text evidence right there, Diego. That's awesome. It's talking about how Elizabeth met Susan B. Anthony and they made an unstoppable team.
Yep.
Elizabeth was a passionate speaker and writer, and Anthony was a gifted leader and organizer. So what did they do together to stop this injustice, to gain equal rights?
I know. Okay,
Giselle?
Together so they can stop so they can have equal rights. They did the National Women's Suffer Association.
Yeah, they made an association, and what did that group do?
They fight for equal rights, and they would go outside holding signs on saying equal rights for women.
Exactly. Right. So if we go back and look at page 208, what are they doing right here? If you go back and look at page 208 in this Women's Suffrage Association, what do you think they're doing there?
They're putting signs up saying we demand justice and saying that we justice for all. They're marching.
They're marching, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you call that? When you're marching and holding up signs, there's a word for it. Sarah, do you know what that is? What's it called when you're marching up and down the street demanding something? There's a word for it. I see lots of hands up, but Sarah, do you have an idea? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down what you think that is. Oh, you do know. Okay, so go ahead and unmute. What is that called when you are walking up and down streets, you got a lot of people and you're demanding change?
A protest?
Yes, it's a protest. So they're protesting for equal rights. Exactly. So that's what she's doing about it. She made this association to help these women and men, even African American men, getting that right to vote by having protests. Okay. And by when they do protest, they also give, if you look at the text, it talks right here. She gave speeches. So if you look at the end of where it says a winning team, it says she did not care if her speeches caused tension and made some people angry. She believed in her cause. So not only did they do protests, but while they were out protesting, she would stop and speak. So she would speak to the large group of people and talk about why it's important to have these equal rights. And she didn't care if it caused tension or made people angry. What does that word tension mean? She's causing tension. Elijah, what does that mean?
Making people mad.
Right. So making people maybe mad.
Angry.
What other feelings could they be feeling? Giovanni, what do you think?
Angry or frustrated.
Angry? Okay. If you got tension, what else?
I mean, it already says that.
Or mad. Emmanuel?
frustrated.
Making people frustrated because maybe they don't agree with her. Maybe they think, you know what, women don't need the right to vote.
Yeah, like,
So-
oh, she's bugging us. She keeps on wanting. She never stops.
Tension, okay? It's really kind of making people, yeah, it can make them angry, but
Annoyed.
it can also make them uncomfortable. Like, she didn't care if some people disagreed with her. She was okay with that. Like, I don't care if I make you feel uncomfortable because this is something I believe in and this is the equal rights that everybody should have. And it shouldn't be this way where women cannot vote or own land. That's not fair. So she didn't care if people disagreed with her. She didn't care if she made them uncomfortable or angry. I had to say. And that was a big deal in her days. In the 1800s, guys, women had hardly any rights at all. Okay, you had the right to stay home, basically, and to take care of the house and, you know, to do those basic things. And that was it. You didn't get to go out and vote, or you didn't get to run political office, or hold different jobs. Things were very different back then. So she didn't think that was fair and thought that we all deserve equality and fair treatment. All right, so now we need to write. Before we go to break, I want you guys to write. So get your notebooks out and I'll take a picture of it.
Okay. Can I use the restroom?
Make it quick because we have break and you have to finish your notes before you go. So Elizabeth, and who else did she work with?
Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony, right? So Elizabeth and Susan B. Anthony. Created or made the Women's Suffrage Association that, and what did they do again? What did this Women's Suffrage Association do again? What were they dedicated to do? Gianna, are you writing notes? Melissa, what were they dedicated to do again?
Change the law, and so they could vote and they could own land.
Right, so they worked to change the law, yeah. To get women the right to vote. Okay, so if we explain more, if we explain a little bit more, how did they do it? So they worked to change the law to get women the right to vote. So how do you people get the laws changed? Remember on page 208, so we're going to add those details in. What did they do on page 208? Elijah, what did they do on page 208? How did they make that happen?
It said Elizabeth began drawing lines through all the laws she opposed in her father's law books.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, but I'm just looking at the picture. So that's like the reason why she wanted the laws changed. But now what did the Women's National Suffrage Association do? What did her and Susan B. Anthony start and do to get these laws changed? When we don't like things, what are we going to do? What are they doing here, Elijah? Sarah already shared with us.
Protesting?
They would protest, okay? So when we don't like something in our country, we speak up, right? We don't let ourselves be silenced. We vote. We have protests. We speak out against it. We go to our city hall meetings. You go to our government and we complain to them like, hey, this isn't right. This needs to stop because it's not fair. Okay, so they protested, or I would say they didn't just protest, but they organized. And then what was Elizabeth really good at? If you look at page 211, 3 years later, Elizabeth met Susan B. Anthony. Together, the two made an unstoppable team. Elizabeth was a passionate speaker and writer. Anthony was gifted leader and organizer. They formed the National Women's Suffrage Association. This group was dedicated to helping women gain the right to vote. Congress showed no haste or hurry to change the law. Elizabeth toured the country and spoke about reforms for women and women's right to vote. She did not care if her speeches caused tension and made some people angry. She believed in her cause. So what did she do during the protests to convince people to change the law? She just didn't walk around and hold signs. What did Elizabeth do? Diego, what did she do?
She made the National Women's Suffrage Association.
Okay, we already have that part. What did Elizabeth do with these protests, though, to convince people that, hey, this is wrong? Everybody needs to get the right to vote.
She toured the country.
Okay, and what did she do toward the country when she had these protests? How about Brianna? Did they just walk around, Brianna, and do protest, or did Elizabeth do something else? Come on, guys, we need to be reading right here. It says specifically at the end of a winning team. What did she do during these protests? Brianna, do you see in the text? Look at the page 211, the last section of a winning team. Brianna, are you unable to unmute? Can you unmute? Can you hear me, Brianna? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, you can hear. Why, what did she do during these? Come on, we got to get ready for break, guys. What did she do at these protests to convince people that women should have the right to vote? Jonathan, do you want to share? I'm going to move to Jonathan because we need to get to break.
Okay. When she toured the country, she spoke about reforms for women and a woman's right to vote.
Yes. So remember, she's a gifted speaker. Elizabeth was a passionate speaker, so she was really good at speaking.
So she gave speeches.
So she spoke about giving women the right to vote. Remember, she's a really good speaker and she's a really good writer, so she can write up some good speeches and give those out. And she did this all the way around the U.S. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and snip a picture of this just in case you're having any trouble seeing it. This is our last part. Okay? And then you guys can go ahead and finish.
I wrote it off.
All right, I'm going to post it right here.
It's break time.
We still
Okay.
have 2 minutes.
So I would like you to finish this, and then maybe let's come back at 10:35. So this last part, I want you guys to write down before you go to break. All the notes are here in the channel. When we come back from break, I'm going to go ahead and look at your notebooks. You're going to show me your notes. So everybody's got to show me your notes. So we have the last part. Elizabeth and Susan B. Anthony created the Women's Suffrage Association that worked to change the law to get women the right to vote. They organized protests and spoke about giving women the right to vote throughout the United States. That's what they did. That's what she did to get women the right to vote. All right, you don't need to show me your notebook now, but you do need to have this last part written. I'm going to maybe make it a little bit bigger, or you guys can go to Language Arts Channel 2 to see it and get those notes done. And then I'm going to see you guys at, let's say 10:35, okay? Because by the time you finish your notes, that gives you that little extra time. And this is going to help you with your race to respond. You have the details about why she wanted women to have the right to vote and what she did about it.
We're still on the race book?
Miss McKinney, I finished it.
Okay, once you're done, you can go to break, and then I will see you guys at
Channel 2.
10:35 in the Math Channel 2, okay?
Okay, bye, Miss
Bye,
McKinney.
Miss McKinney.
When you have your notebooks ready when you come back to show me, okay?
Bye, Miss McKinney.
Miss McKinney?
Hello?
We're on break, which means we don't do work right now. We come back at 10:35.
Wait, Miss McKinney, do we leave? Do we leave?
Do you want to see my hamster real quick? Miss Kitney.
We're on break.
Do you want to see my hamster? Whoever is there, talk to me.
You don't come until 20 minutes.
Do you want to see my hamster?
No thanks.
Okay.